Ladies and gentlemen, what next for the ODM traitors? Do I mean by this? These are the gentlemen just right after William Ruto won the 2022 elections, ditched camp. They left ODM, they left the opposition and joined the government and declared officially they are going to go to State House, and they went actually and had a handshake with William Ruto at that time. Some of them actually are the MPs from Luo Nyanza. What next for these MPs? What next for these senators? What next for these leaders? Now, just to give a list, a few of them, we have Mark Nyamita from Migori County. We had Jalango from Langata, where Raila actually comes from. He was the MP of Raila himself. We had Elisha Odhiambo. We had David Ochieng. We had Tom Ojienda. And of course, Esther Passaris of Nairobi. All these people went to State House early enough before Raila Amolo Odinga. So they went there and they said they're going to support the government to deliver for the people of Kenya. All of a sudden, the government turned out to be hated by Kenyans. But still, these people held that position. But of course, from the conversations we saw later on TV, like now David Ochieng, Jalango, they have changed tune completely, and now they're talking about the government doing the work. They have to do the change and do their work the way they're supposed to do it according to the constitution. They have changed completely the tune, and right now they're speaking in support of the common man. Yet before the protest, even before Raila Amolo Odinga joined the government, these people were strongly speaking in support of the government, whether the people are suffering or not. So the conversations changed completely. Now, what next for these gentlemen? What next for them? Before we see what is next for them, there are a few facts about these people. The ones who betrayed ODM and the opposition in general, particularly even Raila Amolo Odinga himself. First of all, they thought that they are smarter than Raila Amolo Odinga. So therefore, they went ahead to become the first people to join William Ruto at that time. So the fact remains that they thought they are so clever, and therefore they are going to change Raila Amolo Odinga. So by joining Ruto, they'll get more than being with Raila Amolo Odinga. That's the first fact. If you check, some people are speaking like we are going to take development to our people. We want to take development to Langata. I want to take development to Kisumu. We want to get sources to do this and that. That means they thought maybe they are clever enough, and that's the best way they could have done it. The second thing is that another fact from here is that they betrayed ODM and their traitors. So therefore, they went against the provisions of the party and the requirements of the party. And actually, some of them were even asked to be punished. Some of them asked for forgiveness. But some of them ignored completely and did not even turn up to face the disciplinary committee. So that is very clear that already they are betrayers. So does that change ever since Raila Amolo Odinga joined government? No. They still remain to be traitors. First of all, the fact also they have to remember is that they cost the oppositions highly. Why am I saying so? When the government introduced Finance Bill 2024, they are among the people who joined the government to support the Finance Bill 2024, which hurt Kenyans significantly. And actually, the kind of pain it brought to Kenyans during that time, it is what manifested in the 2024 Finance Bill rejection by the Gen Zs and millennial protests in the country. So therefore, those are the things that we have to believe, that we have to accept they happened. Now, what are the consequences of these people, particularly after Raila has joined the government and had a serious handshake with William Ruto? First of all, they lost the negotiating powers they had at that time. They appear to be the leaders speaking on behalf of Nyanza. Let's talk of Oludowalo. Let's talk of the Interior Cabinet Secretary, Principal Secretary. Let's talk of the leaders like Senator Kisumu, that's Tom Ojienda. People felt like they're speaking on behalf of Nyanza. But now when Raila comes in, everyone is put aside, focus is on Raila Amolo Odinga. That means they have lost their negotiating power that they used to have. Another thing, they've also reduced the power themselves they used to enjoy. Why am I saying so? They're no longer the important people from Nyanza the way Raila is. They tried so much to ensure that at least they've destabilized Nyanza, but now Raila coming in, he comes with ODM, and ODM remains. That means the power of these people has been reduced. Now you'll see state power being given to some of these ODM members. Therefore, we have to accept they've lost their powers. Another thing, it is their 2027 chances of winning the elections. Why am I saying so? They are so minimal. Those chances are very minimal from the fact that they already appeared as traitors of ODM, opposition, and Raila Amolo Odinga, the man. We have to accept that in 2027, Raila will be around. Raila will have a huge say in the country. Either it's through him, or through his supporters, or through his people, Raila will have a huge effect on the Kenyan politics going forward. Actually, if we check right now in Nyanza, Raila Amolo Odinga commands. And if these people have been given the chance to serve in government, particularly Mbadi and Opiyo Wandayi, if they succeed, probably in Luo Nyanza, all those who have been working from there as leaders, they are going to be outshone significantly because they have failed. So if the Raila's people perform, you will win back even those small numbers of people who are thinking that they are better than these other leaders. So therefore, I want to quote it here significantly that these people are easily going to lose the elections in 2027 unless something else happens. I want to talk of someone like Jalango here. Jalango got huge support from Raila Amolo Odinga. He was supported significantly. Actually, some in his political in his campaign, ODM voted for these guys, for Jalango, immensely. He received huge amounts of votes in Langata. He comes from Raila Amolo Odinga's backyard. And actually, when he decided to go to Status to meet William Ruto, he spoke with a lot of arrogance, showing how powerful he is. Little did he know that Raila Amolo Odinga had been in politics before. He is there and he still be there. So therefore, Jalango, despite he works or not, he's being easily elected in 2027. It is purely in the hands of Raila Amolo Odinga and the support of ODM. Now, will they join UDA? They cannot, because ODM also fights to survive. They've just joined hand. They have joined hand with the government because there is need for them to join hand. Why? The allegations that came from the protest and also the ability for Ruto to run this government effectively and meet the Kenyans' demands. Another thing I want to quote here, it is that Kenyans also hated these guys who betrayed Raila Amolo Odinga. Why am I saying so? The interests of Kenyans at that time were not served because of the opposition which joined the government. And actually, the ODM guys who were almost 10 added up to the number of people who voted against the wishes of Kenyans. If you check during the protests, people were saying those who voted yes are no longer going to be elected, they are supposed to be recalled, such kind of stories. Now, if it comes to 2027, these people will be remembered as some of the traitors, but the ODM supporters. And one thing you have to know that most of them come from Nyanza. They depend on the Luo leaders. Let me just put, not even the Luo Nyanza leaders, voters. So therefore, if you come from that region, and you expect them to support you, and these people are loyal to Raila Amolo Odinga, you must have also been loyal to Raila Amolo Odinga. As we speak currently, there are most of the leaders in Luo Nyanza right now who are going to be thrown out because the locals there know them as traitors. They know them as going against Baba. Now, if Baba fixes this country, the way the conversation right now in Kenya is heading to, that means it is going to be very clear that these guys are going to be voted out, or even the chances of them being elected are very minimal. There's nobody from Nyanza, like now I saw Elisha Odhiambo speak. He was saying that now he welcomes Baba in government. Nobody is going to welcome Baba. Baba welcomes them. That is the conversation that is going on in the ground right now in Nyanza. If they do the mistake of underestimating Raila Amolo Odinga, then probably they are going to suffer more. Nobody goes against Raila Amolo Odinga in Luo Nyanza, to be specific, and in ODM, because this is the person who has ensured the party has been in existence for all this time. He has ensured that some of these leaders have been elected into power for all this time, and he has ensured that this performance and checking on the history, he has done so many things, particularly in the devolution, which these leaders should be the first people to respect and uphold Raila Amolo Odinga's principles and ODM at large before any other person. But of course, at this time, they decided to go against Raila Amolo Odinga's wishes and the ODM party. They're going to face the consequences just as I've listed them there. Now, that's my video there and there. Kindly, if this is the first time you're watching our videos, make sure that to subscribe, like, and comment, because that's the best support you can always give this channel. For those who are watching for the first time, kindly make sure you do so. For those who've been repeatedly watching our videos, we want to thank you so much. Can let me see your comments in our comment section so that we can keep on informing each other going forward. That is my video there and there. My name is Abel Mokwa.